If you're eating 1,200 calories, you know you need to be eating more, but you're either scared to do so or you're afraid you'll gain weight. I'm gonna show you exactly what to do. But before we dive into the video, be sure and subscribe to the channel and like this video and turn on the alerts, because I am on a mission to help as many people as I can to never struggle losing weight ever again, and there's no reason that can't be you. If you and I haven't met yet, my name is Jared Hamilton, and I've been doing just that for the last decade. I've been helping people never struggle lose weight ever again and making this weight loss and diet game insanely simple. All right, so how do we do this? How do we get you away from eating 1,200 calories without spiraling out of control? Let's get one thing straight when it comes to your calories. You have to understand that when it comes to a calorie intake, every person's calorie intake is different, which means your calories are completely individual to only you. Your calorie intake does not come down to a demographic, an age, a gender, a group of any sort. Every calorie intake is completely individual to the person. That's it. Which means 1,200 calories is probably not your number. Now, number two, you have to realize that 1,200 calories is not sustainable. Let me give you some perspective here. I've been coaching people for the last decade plus, like 10 or 11 years, and I have never recommended someone to go on a 1,200 calorie diet, not even one time. All right, number three, let's talk about the dangers of eating that little amount of calories, especially when it comes to fat loss. The first thing it's gonna do, it's going to kill your metabolism. Well, we all know that when it comes to weight loss, that your metabolism is something you want boosted. It's something that you want elevated. It's something you want as high as possible, because the metabolism is just your body's ability to burn calories and function. Well, if you're stuck at 1,200 calories, your metabolism will slowly adapt to that, and it's going to hurt it a lot, which makes it harder to lose weight, even though you're starving yourself. The next thing it's gonna do is it's gonna hurt your relationship with food. I don't know about you, but I don't like to think about food 24/7. Because if you're eating next to nothing, like you're eating just these 1,200 calorie diets, well, you're gonna be thinking about food all the time. You're gonna be so scared you're gonna go over on your calories. You can't enjoy anything you love in your day-to-day because it's gonna blow your calories out of the water, and it's gonna over time completely hurt and destroy the relationship you have with food, which is gonna make life really, really difficult. Also, when you eat super low like this, you're going to go through a lot of what's called muscle wasting, which means all the definition that you want is gonna go away. It also means that booty you've been trying to build that you really want is going to go away. So not only are you going to not love the way you look because your muscle tissue and definition is going to go away, but it's also going to make your metabolism drop even more and your energy drop. Then more than likely you're going to struggle with things like binging, because when you starve yourself and don't eat very much, we can only do that for so little amount of time before everyone breaks and then have a binge eating episode every weekend, causing you to stay in this vicious cycle. Which means at the end of the day, eating a 1,200 calorie diet is asking to gain weight back. Because even if it works for a little bit amount of time, it's not sustainable for the long haul. And if it's not sustainable forever, it's not worth doing. All right, number four, I get you're scared to eat more, but it's time to face that fear. I can't sugarcoat this one. The only way to come out of eating a 1,200 calorie diet is to start eating more. Now, before you freak out, I'm gonna show you how to go about this where you don't spiral out of control. And to be honest, how we do this with our clients, so it actually allows them to lose more weight in the long run and make all these problems go away. So accept that you have to eat more, it's time. Next, if you're convinced that you cannot eat over 1,200 calories without gaining weight, we have to put the giant halt in this whole thing. More than likely, you're using the scale wrong as a tool if you freak out because you eat 1,300 calories and the scale spikes and you're like, oh my gosh. Well, you're using the scale wrong as a tool, and that's a whole different video for a different time. Let me know in the comment section, by the way, if you'd like me to make a video on how to use the scale the right way. But if you're fully convinced that you can't eat over 1,200 calories without gaining weight, you're not ready to go into fat loss yet. To give you an idea, if someone gets accepted into our coaching program who's been on a 1,200 calorie diet and they're convinced they can't eat more without gaining weight, we don't let them go into weight loss yet because it's not appropriate. You don't have a foundation yet. I mean, I'm guessing you wouldn't move into a house that has no foundation. So then my question is, why are you trying to go onto a diet and go through a fat loss transformation when you don't have a foundation with all this stuff? In my world, you have to earn the right to lose weight, because if you're convinced you can't eat over 1,200 calories, it's not time yet. We have to fix your metabolism and your relationship with food first. Because if you walk around scared shitless to eat, that's not the grounds to lose weight from. Otherwise, if you choose to stay here and just like keep making yourself eat 1,200 calories, you're gonna just stay stuck and you're gonna make this weight gain problem happen over and over and over again. Because you have to understand the goal during weight loss is to eat as much as possible while losing. This is why you have to ask yourself, how many calories can I get away with eating while losing? Not,
what's the least amount of calories I can eat and lose weight?
If you're gonna take one thing away from this entire video, get away with eating as much as possible while on this journey. I know it sounds weird and probably crazy, but eating more while losing is actually going to cause you and allow you to lose more weight long term over the long haul and enjoy the process even more. All right, number 5, finally, how do we do this? Hopefully by now you have it across your brain that you can't stick to eating 1,200 calories. It's the worst idea ever, and it's time to do this the right way. So how the hell do you do it? Right out the gate, slowly. All you're gonna do is start adding back calories. That's it. So for our coaching clients, when we do this with them, we usually start having them add back between 100 to 300 calories at a time. So for example, what that might look like, if someone comes into coaching eating 1,200 calories, we're probably gonna have them start and go straight to 1,400 calories. Pretty simple. Do that for several weeks, monitor progress, monitor their headspace, see how they're doing emotionally, how progress is looking. Then probably do that again, 1,400 to 1,600. Monitor them for a few more weeks, see how they're doing, check in with them, how they're feeling. And then depending on what's happening, we may even do that again. You have to understand, if over time, you can slowly drop your calories like this. You go from like 2,000 to 1,800 plateau, 1,800 to 1,600 plateau, 1,600 to 1,400 plateau, and you're on this like race to the bottom. Then before you know it, you're way down here and can't lose any weight. You can do this the other way. You can go from 1,200 calories to 1,400 calories. And then all of a sudden, your body will start burning more calories. You'll have more energy. Your NEAT, calories stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It basically means the calories that you burn without exercise, just existing and doing your day-to-day, those calories will increase. So you have this cool thing called an adaptation response where your body is going to slowly adapt to eating more calories because you're going to be feeling better, having more energy. Those NEAT calories are going to be increasing. Your overall metabolic rate is going to be increasing, and you're going to be feeling a lot better, which means you're going to burn more calories as well. And then on top of it, you're going to build that lean muscle that you don't want to lose, which then burns more calories. So all we're doing is slowly bringing calories back up. That's it. Your consistent calorie intake is one of the best manipulators of your metabolism. Next, get your expectations in check. One of the biggest reasons people spiral out of control when they start to do a reverse diet or a maintenance period or some metabolic restorative work like we're talking about, or adding calories back and breaking free from the 1,200 calorie diet, most people's expectations cause them to spiral like a helicopter in an action movie. So let's get a few things perfectly clear. When you're doing this, you're not trying to lose weight. I get messages all the time when people are trying to reverse diet like this and they're going,
Oh my gosh, Jared, I'm not losing weight anymore.
I'm like, well, yeah, you're not supposed to. We're not in that phase anymore. Remember when I mentioned earlier in the video that if you are trapped eating 1,200 calories, you're not allowed to lose weight yet? But if you're fully convinced that you can't eat over 1,200 calories without gaining weight, you're not ready to go into fat loss yet. So when you're coming out of your deficit like this, and when you're coming out of the 1,200 calorie world, you're not trying to lose weight right now. You're fixing your foundation so you can lose weight into the future. Next, understand the scale will go all over the place. Just because the scale is going to spike doesn't mean it's body fat. You're literally going to be eating more food. What happens when you eat more food? More water is stored. More shit will be in your stomach. Things like that. So you're going to be gaining more weight. You're going to have more salt, things like that. So know that the scale will spike and it will go all over the place during this time where you're coming out of the 1,200 calorie life. And it's just how it's going to be. And it doesn't mean anything is wrong. Next, this one's really important. Give yourself, dare I say it, permission to gain weight during this process. So many of you watching this that are going through the struggle are so resistant to gaining weight, and it's ruining everything. Give yourself permission to gain weight now, even a little bit, so it'll help you finish this the right way long term. Treat it like an investment. If I said, hey, give me $100 and I'm gonna give you 1,000, you would take that every day of the week. We would do that trade over and over again because of the ROI. You wouldn't sit there and go, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I don't want to lose my $100. And I'm like, bro, I'll give you 1,000 as soon as we do this. It's no different with this. Are you okay gaining a few pounds of weight to keep it off and never struggle losing weight ever again in the long run? Only you can answer that, but you being so resistant to,
I can't gain weight,
is what's keeping you from losing weight. To be honest, we attract that which we're fearful of most in most cases. So you need to give yourself permission to gain a little bit of weight in the short term, to fix this, to lose all the weight you want to lose in the long term. All right, next, take your pictures and measurements during this time. Like I said, the scale is going to go up, down, and sideways, so I don't even care if you weigh yourself during this time, but I want you to take pictures and measurements during all of this, because there are going to be so many times as you're going through this and coming out of the 1200 calorie diet that the scale will be going up, but measurements will be going down. And then lastly, if you're worried about all this, if you're worried about gaining a whole bunch of weight or spiraling out of control and you don't want to do this on your own, you can always see if you qualify for coaching with us. That way you don't have to worry about it. I'll leave a link below in the description if you want details on that. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful. If it was, be sure and subscribe to the channel. Be sure and hit like, be sure to turn the alerts on so you don't miss the next video. And I hope this was helpful. Now, if you're on this journey by yourself and you feel lost, no one else gets it, like your partner doesn't get it, your friends say you're on a diet kick again, and all of those kind of things are happening and you're feeling a little discouraged, you should join my Fat Loss Simplified Facebook community. It's totally free. It's what I call a home base. And I think everyone needs a home base. Because the truth is, this game sucks by yourself. You feel secluded, you feel alone. For most people, their husband doesn't get it because the wife's tried every diet known to man, so he's just kind of disconnected. Kids don't get it. Your friends make fun of you because
Sarah can't go out to eat because she's dieting more.
it's the worst feeling ever and it gets discouraging. So I created this home base, if you will, inside a Facebook group where it's a spot you can go to get loved on, to get support, to where you can be around people that are like-minded who are on this journey as well, that are in the same situation with you, some ahead of you, some behind you, so that way you're right there in the middle, and that way you can have the love and support and help that you need. This game gets tough. This game gets lonely. You'll want to quit. You'll want to throw in the towel. Motivation is going to go south. You're going to have questions come up. You're going to get overwhelmed and confused. And you need a spot to go to in your moment of weakness to get what you need. And I created that inside my Facebook community. It's called Fat Loss Simplified. I'll leave a link below where you can join. I'll make sure you get plugged in. I'll make sure you get set up and you're all taken care of. Otherwise, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for spending some of your time on my channel today. Let me know if there's ever anything I can do for you or if you need anything at all. I will talk to you next time.